So where was our most recent save? Okay, I can probably get this out of here. So most recent save was definitely not this. Not this. Not this. This was right at the end of Machina's route, so not that. Definitely not this. This was one of the more recent ones. And so was this, and so was this, so... These three I know I definitely want to leave intact. It was this one. Have you ever made an irreparable mistake? You know, done something that can't be undone. Doesn't have to be anything particularly dramatic. Maybe you hit a line drive into the neighbor's window as a kid. Good enough. Okay, so stream is indeed public. It's not unlisted. Double check that. Remember that crushing moment of dread? That sense of hopelessness? I don't think I'm ever going to feel that way again. It's not that I don't make mistakes. I've simply come to realize that every problem has its solution. When you break someone's window, you just apologize. If that's not enough, you compensate them for the damage. Either way, if you're tactful enough to send over a box of pastries and an apologetic note afterward, there probably won't be any hard feelings. Even if you happen to run into someone who isn't so easily placated. There are countless alternative ways of resolving the situation. Sure, these things end up costing you a little in the short term, but if you handle it properly, there won't be any lasting repercussions. And once you get the knack of solving problems, you'll find yourself anticipating them ahead of time. So the door you opened is fastened shut with Torx screws? Hardly anything to panic over, just twist it out with your wrench. Plan a few moves ahead and you'll have a lot less stress in general. It's not nearly as hard as it sounds, just takes a little experience. On the downside, once you have the insight necessary to predict the future, you'll never be able to watch the Rube Goldberg machine in innocent amazement again. But on the whole, I find that an acceptable trade-off. Not to say that I have all the answers. Every once in a while, I do find myself at a loss for a coping strategy. More often than not, this is the direct result of interaction with those highly unpredictable variables known as women. The beginning of summer vacation brings a slightly different atmosphere to Mihama Academy campus. Our residents may not be the most uniformly diligent students in the world, but I suppose attending class is still a bit stressful. With the burdens of academic expectations temporarily lifted, everyone seems noticeably relaxed. Unfortunately, there's a but here. A problem I never saw coming. Not to make this sound more dramatic than it is, it's not like a butterfly flapped its wings in Brazil and launched a tornado in my direction. No, it's a much simpler situation. But unfortunately, no less of a pain in the ass. I'm lounging around on the lobby sofa one morning when Sakaki walks up and clears her throat. Seems as though the time's finally come. I turn to face her, carefully establishing steady eye contact. I'd like to verify something with you, if that's alright. Not a problem, ask whatever you want. Just to warn you, this may be a slightly awkward question. Judging from Sakaki's uncharacteristic hesitation, this is actually significantly more awkward for her than it is for me. After running a hand through her hair several times, she finally manages to move on. Did you do something before summer vacation? Do something. Could you be more specific? I'm always doing something. Breathing, digesting food, performing basic metabolic functions, but somehow, I don't think that's what you want to know. I think you probably have an idea yourself, don't you? Maybe, but I can't provide an accurate answer without knowing exactly what you're getting at. Alright, I'll come out and say it. I want to ask you about Matsushima-san's recent behavior. Oh, Michiru, thought as much. Honestly, I'm surprised it took this long for one of the others to say something. Ever since that day, Michiru's been acting very strangely around me. Did you do something to her? I can't imagine this came out of nowhere. I suppose. Yeah, you could say I did something to her. And what, would you mind telling me what that something was? I don't mind telling you, but I'd recommend not launching any silly investigations. It's not going to help anyone. Yes, I know. I don't intend to stick my nose in any more than necessary. If our circumstances were reversed, I'd find it highly unpleasant. But in this case, I'd at least like to have some idea of what we kissed happened. I'm prepared for anything, so... Huh? I'm prepared for anything. No, it doesn't look like it. Guess she wasn't prepared for anything after all. Her mouth hangs open like a nutcracker with a broken hinge. What's with that face? You're putting your beauty to waste. Better be careful, or you might get auctioned off as a lesser work of Munch. Wait, what did you say? I kissed Michiru for a certain period of time. Our mucous membranes came into contact. You know what a kiss is, I assume? Kisu? Why? Are you two going out? Talk about old-fashioned, it's just a kiss, right? Do a man and a woman need to be in a relationship to match their lips together when the whim strikes them? Or maybe you're going to start marching and outlaw premarital sex rallies now. No doubt, blushing daintily all the way. If you're in need of a plus to express your virginal ideals, you can grab that sign from the campus gardens. It's already got "Please don't pick the flowers" printed on the front, so you won't even need to alter it. Don't play dumb. I'm asking why you two kissed! Settle down, Sakaki. There were no sugary sweet developments of the sort you're imagining. It was just a reflex test. A kind of experiment, almost. Nothing to get yourself worried about. Reflex? An experimental kiss? What on earth are you talking about? It's hard to believe, but sometimes maybe a kiss doesn't mean anything on the emotional level. This may not be any of my business, but I do have one warning for what it's worth. Even if that kiss meant nothing to you, the same may not be true for Michiru. I'll take that under advisement. I really think you'd better take responsibility for your actions sooner rather than later. With those words, Sakaki leaves the lobby behind, shaking her head in amusement. Again with this responsibility business. Amane said something similar not too long ago, come to think of it. Seems men are expected to take responsibility for quite a wide range of things these days. Hell, if one of those girls caught me throwing a chewed-up piece of gum in the garbage can, I'd probably become public enemy #1. I'll have to practice letting my candy down gently so as to avoid general condemnation. Sorry for tossing you aside like that, but our relationship was never meant to last. Don't think badly of me, frozen apple mint. No matter how much time we spend together, it's all bland and flavorless now. Those sweet early days will never return. Oni-chan's lost it. He's talking to a chewed-up piece of gum. What do I do? If you've seen Machina's bad ending, then him talking to that chewed-up piece of gum is nothing compared to Machina's bad ending. I'm just gonna, say that for anyone who hasn't seen it yet. Him talking to a chewed-up piece of gum is nothing, and I'm gonna leave it at that. Didn't notice you there, Machina. Do me a favor and forget you saw that, alright? I was just amusing myself. There wasn't even any gum in there. A joke, eh? I like a good joke myself. Let's see. Gums in my gums. Something like that? Machina, my friend, are you aware that effective punnery involves more than randomly matching together words that sound alike? Don't care. It's still funny, right? Gums in my gums. Try repeating it 1,000 times. Maybe I'll be able to crack a smile. Certainly, what needs to be repeated 1,000 times exactly? Gums in my gums. 1. Gums in my gums. 2. Gums in. Okay, bored now. Alrighty? We still got 998 to go. What shall we do? I'll leave that to you, Sachin. Sure, I'll just pick up where you left off. Gums in my gums. Gums in my gums. By the way, Oni-chan, you seen Chiru? She was hanging around here a while ago. Michiru? Don't know. Why don't you try calling for her and see if she comes running? Oh, it's not like I showed up because you called or anything. For me or anything. Michiru's opening words are delivered with the usual powerful tsundere spirit, but after noticing me, her tone rapidly slides down a scale into timid. By the end of the sentence, her voice is only barely audible. Michiru, is something the matter? Are you feeling ill? Gums in my gums. Huh? What else would there be in your gum? And I'm fine, no problems here. Cha-ching! Good to hear. Anyway, Chiru, I just came up with a new gag. Pineapples make apples pine. What do you think? Apple spine. It's not like you puns are funny or anything, but maybe I'll laugh a little anyway out of the goodness of my heart. Makino doesn't seem to understand the concept of a pun particularly well. I guess. Huh? What? You got a problem or something? Chiru, you're kinda acting funny around Oni-chan, you know? Don't be ridiculous. I'm always enjoying myself just like this. Thank you very much if you don't kindly mind. Just like what exactly? Yeah, just like this. Is that freaking Sachi in the background still reciting gums on my gums? Okay, Chiru's acting weird after all. Am I? I don't know. I don't think so. Seems pretty obvious that my presence is posing an obstacle to smooth communication. Deciding it best to withdraw for the moment, I silently rise from the couch. Where are you going, Oni-chan? My presence seems to be bothering Michiru. Thought I'd give you guys some space. What? Don't be stupid. I'm not bothered at all, so you don't have to do that. You sure about that? Yeah. I'm sure. Totally. This is how it's been lately. Not to state the obvious, but ever since that second kiss, Michiru's been acting strangely self-conscious around me. Might sound vaguely romantic, but it's more like she's keeping a wary distance. Anyway, Yuji! You, don't have to go anywhere! Stay right where you are, you got that? Stand by! I see. Alright then. And you, Sachi, you're driving me nuts with the gum-gum! Shut up already! Gums in my... What? Certainly! Good. Okay then. Bye. Michiru walks off, stiffly swinging her left arm in unison with her left leg, her right arm with her right leg. Objectively speaking, the girl seems to be 2 steps away from a downright panic attack. Wonder how our younger friends are taking all this. I wonder if something's wrong. Is Michiru practicing her goose-stepping? So... What's wrong, Maki-chan? So friggin' cool! No way! What a friggin' revolutionary method of perambulation! Sachin, try imitating that! Imitate that? Yes, alright. We're starting with the left arm and left foot. Rule number 1. You start and stop with the left side. Okay, now reverse. This is a rather difficult way to walk. This looks friggin' awesome, so deal with it. Ah, amazing work, Sachin. You totally look like a cyborg. Yes! Beautiful moves! Really? Take us to your leader, Earthlings. No, that's aliens. I see. Being a cyborg is rather difficult. I'm afraid I'm quite far on the opposite side of the technological spectrum. I just had a thought. Are cyborgs and hot dogs relatives? Relatives? Hard to say without having done the genealogical research. They certainly sound alike. How about cheese dogs and meatballs? I believe those are both foodstuffs. Oh right, foodstuffs! I love me some foodstuffs. They're food and stuff. Okay then, how about greaseballs and sloppy joes? Jaws. Are we talking about sharks now? Who said anything about a shark? Never mind. Seems I didn't need to worry on that front. Makina's completely distracted by that avant-garde way of walking. And as usual, Sachi was roped into playing along. These two don't seem particularly concerned about Michiru's behavior, but there's a certain busybody who probably won't take such a carefree attitude. What's up, Amae? I'm getting the sense you might have something you want to say to me. That I do, and spare me the what's up. You know perfectly well what this is about, don't you? Looks like it's your fault that Michiru's acting so weird. Suppose I can't deny that, but there's not much I can do about it. Don't give me that. If you did something to her, you can at least take responsibility for your actions like a man. Again with the responsibility. Come on. Michiru is obviously not okay. If you two had a fight, then apologize. If you didn't have a fight, then apologize anyway. Got it? You're both stubborn as mules, so this could go on forever. You're the guy here. Step up and tell her you're sorry. Fine, fine. At this rate, my tranquil school days seem likely to take an unpleasant turn for the tense. I suppose I'll have to take your considerate advice. Enough sarcasm. Just go take care of it already. I think Michiru's in her room, alright. Understood. Rest assured I'll resolve this post-haste. Or so I said, but how do I approach this? The problem's entirely on Michiru's end right now. Somehow or other, I need to get the girl to relax a little. Take care of it, huh? Easy for her to say, but I guess I have to try at this point. Thinking it over isn't going to get me anywhere. Deciding to play things by ear, I head straight for Michiru's room. Michiru, I'd like a word. Yes. What do you need? What's with that look on your face? Not sure I follow. I think I have a pretty normal look on my face at the moment. Is something out of the ordinary? Nothing at all. That's the whole point. How can you have such an ordinary look on your face? Am I not allowed to have a normal expression now? That sounds like a nuisance. Anyway. Look. Don't get too close, alright? It makes me feel a little, weird. You want me to back off then? This far enough? A little further. This far enough? A little further! This far enough! One more step! And so I ended up all the way out here. Excuse me, but what exactly are you doing? Oh, the principal! We haven't seen her in a long time. Just playing around. Pay me no mind. Really? Well, if you say so. Incidentally, Chizuru, when do you think a man needs to take responsibility? Hold on, Kazami-kun. You didn't do something to one of our girls, did you? That I did. However, it didn't involve impregnating them. Phew! I see. In that case, I wouldn't worry too much. These things do happen when you're young, right? I mean, if people went around taking responsibility for every thoughtless mistake, it'd be hard to get around town. The streets would be clogged up with men groveling an apology, you see. Interesting argument. That's just how it is. Anyway, when it comes to problems between a man and a woman, there's usually at least a little fault on both sides. Or so I have to believe, if you want to stay sane. You don't say? That one seems to have worries of her own. Well then, let's see. What's my next move? In the end, I make the bold and resolute decision to read a book until the heat dies down a bit. At times like these, one might get the impression that I spend every waking moment of the day I possibly can reading. But for the record, I'm not as severe a bookworm as Michiru seems to think. To be sure, I spend an unusually high proportion of my time with books, but I also exercise, listen to music, and watch movies like anyone else. Might be a little hard to believe, but I particularly enjoy the radio. Listening to Rossini through a veil of static resistant to even the most careful dial twiddling adds a certain resonance you won't find anywhere else. Unexpectedly, this time Michiru's the one who approaches me. What's wrong? You want me to take responsibility as well? Responsibility? No. No. That's not... well... What was I saying? Listen up. First she drives me off, now she's following me around? I really wish the girl would make up her mind. I just want to wrap this whole mess up and get things back to normal as soon as possible. Listen up. This is all your fault, okay? Sorry about that. What, huh? Say what? You're talking about what happened the other day, right? That was my bad. Forget it. Forget it? What do you mean, forget it? Forget it means forget it. I'd appreciate it if you could wipe the whole incident from your memory. That said, I do understand that it's probably going to be a little difficult to pull that off right now. Yeah, that's right. Of course it's hard! In that case, just act like you don't remember. We'll pretend it never happened. That should keep the others from squawking at us. I think life will be simpler and easier that way for the both of us. What do you say? Something wrong? Yeah, fine! That does it. I'm done with you! Totally, completely, 100% done! Back to the normal Tsundere, eh? Glad to see you've cheered up. Are you an idiot? There's no question anymore! You are an idiot! Don't get all worked up. Somebody might come over to see what's going on if you keep shrieking like that. They probably misinterpret your red eyes as evidence that I've upset you in some way. Shut up! My eyes aren't red! They are, actually. Go look in a mirror. They're not red, jerk! I heard some rather loud shouting out here. Is everything alright? No problems. You can go back now. Certainly. I'm going back now. Well, that's that. Glad we've cleared everything up now. Yeah. Sure. Whatever! Nice work, Kazami Yuji. Problem resolved. And so the curtains drew close on this problem play. My peaceful school life was salvaged from its moment of peril. Or so I'd like to say, but that's not how it turned out. All's well that ends well, yes, but my problems hadn't yet run their course. If anything, they were only getting started. From above, I hear a strange warbling scream straight out of a kung fu movie. My first instinct is to suspect a terrorist attack of some sort, but there's nothing in the way of explosions or gunfire, so that seems fairly unlikely. Whatever the case, I clearly need to investigate. Leaving my room, I immediately head for the stairs. Kazami-san, I assume you heard Amane-san scream just now. Had she been assaulted by hoodlums, perhaps? Can't deny the possibility, but there's no way to know for sure until we take a look. Let's go investigate. Considering the hoodlums may well have mercilessly torn her close to shreds, wouldn't it be best to procure something to cover her shame first? Stop talking and follow me. We'll know soon enough what she needs. Certainly. What? What is this? Amane-san, it was hoodlums, yes? What? No. Look at this. Inside the washing machine. The hoodlums? For crying out loud. No! Just look already, will you? Certainly, let's see here. Goodness! This is... I peer over Sachi's shoulder into the open washing machine. It's full of colorful toy cars a few inches in length. A handful would be weird enough, but a rough estimate, there must be a good 100 of the things in there. I was just trying to do my laundry and suddenly there's all these toys inside. All over the place. I do apologize. I had temporarily deposited the items you asked me to purchase here, Amane-san. Inside the washing machine? Please don't be ridiculous. Why would I store toys in the washing machine, of all places? I've been on my way to deliver these to you, but I received an urgent request to clean the laundry room. That's why I temporarily deposited them on top of the machine. Now that she mentions it, there are indeed a good dozen cardboard boxes stacked on top of the machine. Tell me, Sachi, are these all full of model cars? That's right. I imagine one of the boxes simply broke, causing its contents to fall into the washing machine. Look at this! A number of the other boxes are also beginning to sag under the weight. Oh, this clearly doesn't happen every day. Toy cars just falling all over the washing machine. Our washing machine seems to be drowning in toy cars! Goodness gracious. Well, I suppose this is more or less what you were looking for anyway, Amane-san. This many toy cars? What are you planning on doing with this massive collection of toys? I don't know. I don't remember asking Isachan for these. I really don't. What do you mean by that? I bought exactly what you asked for, Amane-san. I didn't say anything about wanting toy cars, did I? Allow me to refresh your memory. Quote, I want to start a model car riot. Unquote. Quote, a model car riot will do us all so good. Unquote. Those are your very words. A model car riot? Don't think I've heard that phrase before. I was at a loss at first myself, but soon enough I figured out that she was referring to a riot utilizing miniature cars. And of course, any riot worthy of the name requires several hundred participants at the very least. Therefore, I decided to begin by gathering 100 toy cars of various models and sizes. Let me tell you, this was no easy task. I was quite willing to buy dozens of model cars at one go. But it wasn't easy to find a toy shop with so many in stock. Many times I politely stated I'd like to buy 100 model cars, sir. Only to be rebuffed with, how about 5, missy? But since it was Amane-san's heartfelt wish to conduct a model car riot, I felt absolutely obligated to gather a suitable number. Therefore, I made my way through countless toy shops purchasing their moderate carb diet. Entire stock, and after much hardship, I finally managed to gather these 300. I'm sorry? Okay, I was talking about a moderate carb diet, Sachan. Moderate carb riot? Not quite. Moderate carb diet. Moderate carb diet. Might that be a dietary regimen based on regulated carbohydrate intake? Yep. Not a riot of model cars. I've been a little concerned about my waistline lately. So I was just thinking about trying out this diet they were talking about on TV. I have no idea you misheard so badly. I mean, what's a model car riot supposed to be anyway? What kind of anarchy is that? This is just... All color draining from her face. Sachi begins to quiver like a spastic jellyfish. It's alright. I just have to return these, yes? I'll just return the model cars. The manufacturer didn't have enough in stock, so I had to search around, and well, it ended up costing more than 110,000 yen. But yes, if I just return them... Costs more than, like... Well, at least $1,000 on toy cars. Amane, my friend, Sachi's face is currently the color of moldy vanilla yogurt. What do you plan to do about this? Sorry, Sachan. This is my fault, okay? I must have mumbled. Understood. You must have gumbo. I'll make the preparations immediately. No, that's not what I said. Wrong again. I'm sorry. I don't understand what's what anymore. What do I do now? If only somebody had a few hundred model cars lying around. Just as the crisis seems to be coming to a head, Michiru enters the scene with a blatantly unnatural line of dialogue. Turning her head to take in the horde of model cars now scattered all across the roof, she opens her eyes wide. Whoa! Are those all model cars? Unbelievable! What a coincidence! No. I'm sure they're here because someone else needs them! What do I do? Is something the matter, Michiru-sama? This model car fanatic I know said they absolutely have to have 300 model cars by the end of the day tomorrow, right? Guess they want to set up a booth at a summer model car festival and hand out chilled cars to the crowd. But that many toy cars aren't just going to fall in your lap in a single day, you know. Whatever shall I do? Actually, Sorry, Sachi, no time to chat. Somehow or other, I've got to get my hands on 300 model cars in a single day! Would you like to take these? Is that alright? I mean, no way! It's like a miracle! Okay, one more time. What a complete farce. It's taking a conscious effort to keep my eyes from rolling. As a matter of fact, I was planning to try and return all of these model cars. Return them? What a waste. Alright then, I'll take them off your hands. Yes, by all means. But now there's another problem. I want to show my gratitude right away, but I don't think I have any way to repay you. All I got on hand is this low-carb diet book I just finished reading. Oh, this works out actually, doesn't it? Sorry, I really am a stupid idiot. Not like you need a diet book of all things. I'll just donate this to the library or something. Michiru, can you give me that book? Sure, but why? Sachan confused model car riot and... This is just going to make things even more confusing. If you give me that, she'll be really happy. What's this? A second miracle? Okay then, here you go, Amane. Good luck with the diet. Michiru-sama, thank you very much. This incident might have ended in shameful failure if not for your timely assistance. What are you talking about? I'm the grateful one here. Thanks to you, the Summer Model Car Festival will definitely be a huge success. I can just see the line forming up in front of the chilled car stall. Yes. Well, if they're really satisfied with this, I guess I'll keep my mouth shut, but seriously now. I suppose it's time for me to return to my cleaning. Thanks, Michiru. You're a lifesaver. No idea what you're talking about. Like I said, I'm the one who got saved here. We might have saved me, but it's not like I'm gonna say thank you or anything. Is that really an authentic tsundere attitude? I'm having some doubts. Yeah, I suppose. What's all this? Quiet, Amane. It's nothing. Nothing at all. Having a little conversation with Yuji, please. Yuji? Well... Hello. Yeah, hello. Okay, done. That was ridiculously awkward. What is this? Didn't you guys make up? Hello. Hello. Okay, done. That's not true, we're fine. That was totally normal. Try it one more time. Hello. Yeah, hi. Okay, Yuji, I thought I told you to apologize. Stop, Amane, it's fine. That's not it, okay? No, Michiru, you stop. I'm talking to Yuji right now. If you have some solution to this, I'd honestly love to hear it. I don't know exactly what happened, but girls... I said stop! Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to be so nosy. I just want to... No, that's not what I meant. I'm sorry. This really isn't any of my business, is it? It's fine. That's not it. That's not what I meant, okay? Well, this took a turn. What, like 10 minutes ago I was laughing at model car riots that don't make any sense. I was laughing at the idea of a model car riot probably like not even 5 minutes ago. Wow, things have taken a turn. And then this song comes on again. And then the next moment, just to complicate things further, Makina pokes her head into the room. What's all the ruckus in here? Oh! What's with all these cars? Whoa! Makina, this isn't a good time. Save it for later, alright? Why are you guys leaving me out? I'm your friend too, you know? Makina, we're not leaving you out, okay? We're just... What? Hey, Chiru, what's wrong? You don't look so good. Does your tummy hurt? What's the matter, Chiru? Say something. Makina, we're leaving. Stop talking, come with... Shut up! Chiru? Shut up. Shut up. Shut up! Shut up! Stop! Stop it! Stop! Michiru. Let's just all calm down, okay? Alright. I'm sorry. I should have kept my big mouth shut. Stop it! Just stop! No more! Stop! Huh? What's going on? Is this my fault? Sorry, Chiru. What do we do? Michiru, are you? For a long moment, Michiru stares fixedly at the floor in silence, her expression hidden by her bangs. Judging from their astonished reactions, Amane and Makina hadn't seen the girl ever act like this before either. Got what? But when Michiru finally speaks, the first word out of her mouth comes yet another baffling surprise. Gotcha. Gotcha! Did you fall for it? Well, I totally got you guys, didn't I? It's not just the abrupt attitude shift. Michiru's expression is like that of a completely different person. Everyone else in the room, myself included, is struck speechless. Amane blinks her eyes in utter confusion. And now we're back to happy-go-lucky good times again. What's going on? No, really, what's going on? I probably would have been just as baffled if this was my first time seeing this Michiru, but that's not the case. A vague understanding of the situation dawns on me. So that's how it is. What is? Look, I don't get this at all. What's with that serious face? You're gonna make me laugh. Oh please, Makina, Amane, what's with the dumbfounded stares? Of course I'm not really upset. Get real. I'm just not just any Michiru-sama, you know? I'm the king of all scenarios, understand? Okay, alright, enough of the chalk faces. Here we go. Back to normal. 1, 2, 3. Well, are you really alright? What do you mean alright? That was all a joke, obviously. Why did I get depressed? I mean, do I really look like that sort of character? Could have fooled me for a minute there. Shut up, idiot! That's so not me. Seriously? I was completely convinced you were mad at me. I was really shocked. Not to mention worried, you know? Never would have expected a play like that from Michiru. So this was all one big old nasty prank? Thought I'd give you a little shock. Pretty realistic acting, don't you think? Good enough to fool you guys, at least. Suckers. All of a sudden, I'm absolutely exhausted. Look, can you do me a favor and not make any more jokes like that? It was a little too believable. Maybe you're all just too gullible. Alright then, I got to plan how to get these model cars good and frosty, so this meeting's adjourned. If worse comes to worse, I might drop by to borrow your freezers later. What? Model cars in the fridge? Creepy! I refuse! That's stingy. Jeez. Alright then, I'm busy. Okay? Dismissed. Shoo! We're done here. Dissolution time! Okay, bye. Mark my words. I'll pay you back for this one, Michiru. Phew. I assume you understand, but that doesn't apply to you, Yuji-kun. I've got something to say to you. She watches me with a serious expression, her tone of voice cold. Doesn't surprise me. I've got something I want to ask you myself. How convenient. Alright then, head over to the classroom and wait for me there. I prefer not to risk anyone overhearing this. As instructed, I immediately make my way to the empty school building. Now I'll finally get some real answers about what's going on with my erratic young friend. Even as I'm settling in to wait, the door slides silently open, and the girl in question enters. Michiru folds her arms and slowly, silently approaches me. She appears to be sizing me up somehow. Rather than taking a chair, she lowers herself onto a desk in front of me. We're at point-blank range, but she still hasn't said a word. Well, no point waiting until the sun goes down. Instead of easing into the topic at hand, I try abruptly throwing her a bit of a fastball. You going to explain yourself? What the hell was that supposed to be? But as soon as the words leave my mouth, Michiru fires right back in an even more forceful tone of voice. Yuji-kun, I think you're the one who owes me an explanation. An explanation? Me? That's right. Why did you do that? What were you thinking? Just to be perfectly clear, I am of course talking about the kiss. Don't bother playing dumb. Seems the girl genuinely upset with me now. Completely incomprehensible. I was expecting you to give me some sort of explanation, but instead it's yet another lecture on responsibility. That's right. It's a lesson you don't seem to have learned yet, after all. You really are completely insensitive, aren't you? This coming from you? If you want to criticize my manners, shouldn't you explain who you are first? That little body swapping routine just now wasn't half bad, but it's not going to fool me. I assume you're aware of that. I'm me, as I've said before. Not good enough? Tell me then. Who are you? I'm me. Not sure how else to answer that. Right? Don't go around demanding people answer questions you can't solve yourself. Ridiculous. Again with this, when I talk to the other Michiru, I always end up getting lost in the fog, wandering straight off topic. But I'm not Alice, and this isn't the time to be getting caught up in riddles. Okay, look, I've had enough of the riddling. Just because you're perching on top of a desk doesn't mean you need to croak at me like a crow. What's that supposed to mean? Doesn't mean anything. Listen, just answer the question, will you? That's the most basic rule of a coherent conversation. Rules are made to be broken. Some people feel that way, but it's hard to have a fair match without them. Here and now, for the purpose of this discussion, I think the two of us should be on even footing. I see. Maybe you have a point. Alright then. From this moment forth, I solemnly swear to obey your rules. Name them. Rule number 1. Truthfully answer the following question. Who are you? Didn't we just do this? I'm me. You're definitely Michiru, but you're not the Michiru I know. Listen, I don't need any more banter. Just give me a yes or no answer. Are you Michiru? Michiru heaves a deep sigh and hops lightly down from the desk. After a moment of silence, she shrugs her shoulders expressively, silently communicating the words, you really are clueless, aren't you? There are countless questions that simply can't be answered with yes or no alone. For example, what's 1 plus 1? None of the above. I'm not trying to be cryptic here. Your rules have a really basic structural flaw. Of course, if I converted my answer to the decimal system, I suppose I could express it as a yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, or the like. Seems like the sort of thing you'd appreciate, but the whole thing strikes me as rather... Pushing out her lips in a mild pout, she continues with a clear tinge of displeasure in her voice. Lame. Unbelievably lame. This is a problem. Seems the two of us are communicationally incompatible. Does that mean you're done? I seem it's my turn now. I lower myself onto a chair and lean back in my listening pose. Sadly, I can't help but admit it. We're firmly in Wonderland territory here. Seems I have no choice but to play by your rules. Shame we don't have any tea. I'm sure your story's worth savoring at length. Don't worry. I won't take too much of your time. Or rather, there's no time. No, enough messing around. We really do need to hurry, and this is a very serious problem. After thinking for a while, Michiru clears her throat with a little cough. I get the impression the girl just brushed away the conversation to this point like so many errant particles of dust. First of all, this girl's seriously shaken up. What was that just now? Never happened before. And it's your fault, of course. You do understand that? Guess so. What happened today is going to hurt her as well. Much more deeply than you think. Oh, the freak out in the laundry room with the model cars. Therefore, I want you to take responsibility. To be more specific, I want you to comfort her. Want me to pet your head then? Or maybe I should get a big stuffed animal, put some candy in a stocking, and drop down the chimney at Christmas? I told you to stop messing around. Tomorrow morning, come to her room and comfort her. Very kindly. Like a perfect gentleman. Comfort me like a gentleman. Can't say I've ever heard someone make a request like that on their own behalf before. People drop hints. But outright telling someone I'm weak, comfort me, is more than a little unusual. Will that prevent any future problems? It'll help in some respects, but that boat sailed the moment you kissed this girl. Hold on. You're making this out to be my fault, but you're the one who started this. True enough, however, unlike me, that girl's very innocent. Not to imply that I'm particularly world-wise myself, but I'm nothing compared to her. Thanks to that kiss. Michiru hesitates for a moment, but apparently decides that there's no use hiding it. She fires off the words as if eager to get them off her tongue. She's fallen for you. Don't laugh, alright? It was the first real kiss of her life. Hard to expect her not to react strongly, don't you think? If you say so. Any questions? Quite a few, actually. There's a whole mountain of things I don't understand. But I don't trust this hitting wall to return my volleys properly. Lob a tennis ball at her and you might get a watermelon flying back at you. Not for you, at least. I'll ask the girl herself tomorrow. Seems like it'll be faster that way. I see. Well, that's alright by me. As long as you're... a gentleman? Good job. You may be hard-headed and completely tactless, but at least you're quick on the uptake. The conversation apparently concluded. Michiru waves her hand vaguely in my general direction. Don't be strange, you're alright. Here, I'll give you a present. Honestly, what on earth am I supposed to do with all these? Leaving a single model car behind on top of the desk, Michiru strides out of the classroom. It's like something out of a mystery novel, completely beyond me. I'm a spectator on this ride, and the windows are opaque. I was hoping to get a handle on the situation, but it's impossible. Don't even feel like reading some escapist novel right now. The only thing I want to do at the moment is collect my thoughts without the risk of being disturbed, which means... guess I'll go for a little run. With a small sigh, I quietly close the story of the girl named Michiru, placing a bookmark between today and tomorrow. Some things are inevitable. The carefully wrapped present you hand to a child never comes back in one piece. There's no night without a dawn. The wrapping paper gets torn to shreds and the sun rises. That's the way the world works. The girl who wasn't the girl told me to come to her room in the morning. A lot about this strikes me as strange, but at the moment I want to get this resolved. Time enough to pick at the details later. Although getting up at 5 in the morning is perfectly routine for me, I understand that I'm something of an outlier among my age group in this regard. Therefore, I decide to take care of my normal morning run and shower off my sweat before paying my visit. Once I'm clean and dressed, I pull out the mental bookmark I wedged between 2 slices of time, making my way to Michiru's room to pick up the story where I left off. Well, I'm here at least, so that's step 1. But how am I supposed to make my entrance? Most likely, the Michiru on the other side of this door has no idea that I'm coming. I pause for a moment, trying to think up of a decent opening line, but soon enough I shake my head and reach out for the doorknob. Thinking isn't going to help right now. Too many unknowns. Whatever happens, happens. Michiru, you awake? I wait patiently for a response, but as expected, there's no answer. Guess I'll have to make the first move. I'm coming in if that's a problem. You can tell me why inside. It's unlocked, so my forcible entrance poses no particular difficulties. As I quietly close the door behind me, something stirs slowly in the darkness. For one strange moment, it feels as if the room itself is breathing. Unending tunnel. Fortunately, there's a bit of sunlight leaking through the gaps in the blinds, so my eyes begin to adjust. It's still gloomy in here, but not enough to pose any real issues. I spent long enough in darkness where I couldn't tell the difference between having my eyes open and shut. This dimness isn't a problem by comparison. The cloying scent of cheap candy and imported fabric softener hangs in the air, thick as tobacco smoke. Hidden inside the stronger spells, I also pick up a faint hint of ammonia. Probably a major component of that witch's brew the girl slathers on her hair. I'm startled by the sudden warmth of a living creature coiling itself around my legs. It's the cat Michiru's been doting on lately. Seems to remember her claiming it wasn't a pet, but if it's hanging around her room, that seems implausible. Hello there, Rommel. Where's Michiru? Rommel? The cat reacts to my voice by pattering off on its tiny paws and hiding in the bed. Seems it doesn't like me too much. And from a little above where the cat vanished, a somewhat surly human voice addresses me. He's not Rommel. Is that blanket blob you, Michiru? Don't call him that weird name. He's not Rommel. He's not... I'm going to open the curtains. I understand it might be easier to relax in the dark, but a little light should help you wake up. Yeah. Oh, that's her? Michiru's sitting on the bed, a blanket draped over her head, her knees clutched to her chest. She's trembling visibly like some kind of traumatized war refugee. Or maybe a child waiting anxiously for parents who should have been home hours ago. Keeping a cat in the dorm, are we? Pretty bold. Can't say I entirely approve, though. That's not it. He was just in the room when I woke up. I didn't bring him here. Really, it's true. You sound rather forlorn, my friend. Forget to put on your tsundere attitude this morning? Yeah, she says. I grab the back of a nearby chair and pull it up to the bed. After briefly declaring I'm going to sit, I do so without waiting for Michiru's response. I didn't say you could take a seat yet. Now that's more like it. Go on, give me the vinegar. What's with that? What's with that whiny tone of voice? You're really off your game. I'll be your audience, so how about starting with your vocal warm-ups? If you'd like, we can restart the scene from the point where I entered the room. I don't do that stuff. Look, when you see an obviously depressed girl, can't you show a little kindness? I suppose I could if someone told me to, but would that really make you happy? Yeah. Sounds a little hollow. But I'd probably be pretty happy anyway. What a reprehensible woman. But if you want my kindness that badly, I suppose I can give it to you. I lean forward in the chair, reach out with one hand, and give Michiru a few pats on the head. What's this supposed to be? Kindness. Not enough for you? Here, take a little extra. Well then, that should be enough for the moment. I'm going to get to the topic at hand. No need to prolong this, alright? You can just respond to the questions. Unless I'm completely off base, you're dragging around a serious problem of some sort. I'm not looking to pry, but whatever it is creating headaches for me as well. I'm not particularly fond of stumbling cluelessly through difficult situations. To put it simply, I don't like this. I want you to explain your current condition. Can you do that for me? Did I do something? I did, didn't I? I must have. That's right, so you don't remember after all. Yeah, I'm sorry. With those words, Michiru lets out a tremendously long sigh. Sounds something like a 10,000-year-old cat accidentally brushing his overlong whiskers against the moon. Nothing to apologize about. You can take it nice and slow, so try to talk, alright? We got plenty of time. You always use your free time to read books, don't you? Sure about letting me take up your valuable time? Not a problem. Don't sweat the small stuff right now, alright? Anyways, this happens to be exactly where I left my bookmark. Your bookmark? This is the start of the story near the end, but I need you to talk if I'm ever going to decipher it. You're weird. That sounds like some kind of riddle. Maybe, but in that case, you're the one who has the answer. I'll hear you out, Michiru, so talk to me. Just make sure to wake me up if I doze off from boredom. I've tried sleep learning before, but it never really did much for me. Jeez, fine. I'll talk. The cat in Michiru's arm suddenly gives a single meow. Taking that as her cue, the girl licks her lips and begins to speak. I don't know how well I can explain this, but I don't remember a lot of things. I told you this cat wasn't in the room because I brought him here, right? He was just there when I woke up. I don't know whether he got in himself or if I carried him here and forgot, but I really don't remember. There's a deep wrinkle in Michiru's brow. She resembles a child trying to read a bulky encyclopedia. The girl doesn't seem to quite know where to begin. But I do know exactly when this started happening. Ever since then, my memory's had these weird gaps. Sometimes I just go completely out of it, and all of a sudden it's the next morning. For example, when you stare out the window of a train, you know what kind of scenery you're seeing on the other side, right? Even if you space out and don't remember exactly, you sort of know. But this is like suddenly going into a pitch-dark tunnel. Just like that. I can't even see the scenery passing me by. When I wake up and finally come out of that long tunnel, it's like I took a trip to snow country in a blizzard. It's tomorrow morning, and everything's just a perfect white blank. So your memory's been skipping. Okay then, let me ask a more precise question. Do you remember what happened yesterday? I remember parts of it just fine. I was talking with everybody in the laundry room, and then you were there, so I got nervous. And my chest started to hurt really bad. And then for some reason my head got all hot. I think I probably yelled at someone. I remember this awful feeling like I swallowed a big icicle or something. That memory is really clear, but after that it's all a blank. The next thing I knew, Kitty Meow was there when I was crying in my bed. Localized amnesia, is it? Is the girl herself aware that these gaps in her memory coincide with the emergence of another Michiru? What happened after that? Is everybody mad at me? No, there shouldn't be a problem. I don't think you need to worry about that. Again? Biting her lower lip, Michiru mumbles a single word. It falls out of her mouth with a dull thunk of a sizable rock hitting the floor. What's that supposed to mean? Don't hate me, okay? It's always like that. These gaps in my memory always show up when I think something bad might have happened, but it never turns out that way. It's almost the opposite. More often than not, some problem's been solved or something's going on in a better direction than before. Not turning her head, Michiru flicks her eyes over for a furtive glimpse at me. After confirming that my expression hasn't changed dramatically, she gives a small sigh and resumes her story. Sounds like it was the same way yesterday. I know I screwed up, and now everything's wrapped up neatly. Somehow that makes me even more anxious. Hey, Yuji, what did I do? I wouldn't worry too much. Your memory's probably just a little confused. I guess the situation was overwhelming, so I had to flip a mental switch to deal with it. A mental switch? Michiru reacts strongly to those words in particular. Maybe she does know after all? I'm not a doctor and you're not a patient. It's up to you how much you want to hear. What's that supposed to mean? I don't think it's that difficult to sentence. Think it over. Michiru lowers her gaze to the floor, staring at the carpet as if looking for the word she dropped earlier. But soon enough, she abandons the search and closes her eyes in apparent resignation. Yuji, will you tell me everything? Immediately after you scream the... Hold on a second. Can I hold your hand? I guess. I don't really mind. Michiru timidly reaches out to me. Her small hand, damp with sweat, trembles like a sick songbird. Okay. Go ahead. Immediately after you screamed in the laundry, the other... Hold on a second. Can I get a little bit closer? I don't really mind. Michiru sidles across the bed towards me. As she draws near, the fingers of her hand twine their way between mine. Can I continue now? Yeah. Immediately after you screamed. I'm like, in what universe is Michiru like this? I feel like, again, we're talking to, like, a third, like, different person here. There's a tsundere, there's the, like, emotionally deep in thought smart Michiru, then there's, like, the really depressed one. What now? Can I snuggle you? I'm not familiar with that verb. Request clarification. You know, snuggle. I can't determine what you're referring to from that word alone. I'm unable to answer. Snuggle. I'll do it for a second, okay? Michiru pulls away for a moment and leans over and wraps her arms around me, keeping her eyes averted the whole way. She's squeezing pretty forcefully, almost like a child clutching a giant stuffed animal for reassurance. This is snuggling. Can I do this? Seems a slightly academic question at this point. You already are. I know, but can I? I don't really mind. Thank goodness. Okay. Go ahead. This little scene must look something like a large tree, nearly ready to fall, being supported from the side by a lumberjack. A little ironic, since Michiru is clearly the one who needs to be propped up right about now. This time I'm going to finish the sentence. Immediately after... Sorry. Actually, I'm good. What do you mean? You don't have to say it. I'm sorry. In that case, can you let go of me now? I guess I have to let go, don't I? Even as she speaks, Michiru buries her face against my chest. I can feel the area near her lips grow warm with every exhalation of breath. Letting go would be the normal thing to do, right? This is weird, isn't it? It's not especially inconvenient for me, so I don't really mind. Thanks. Nothing to worry yourself about. The girl maintains her embrace on me for quite some time. My thoughts drift back to the enigmatic other Michiru. Now? What was that? Do you hate me now? Hey, why would I? Where's this coming from? I mean, this is definitely weird, right? I'm not normal, am I? By this, I meant, you know, the gaps in my memory. Not this. Situation okay? It's certainly not what you'd call typical, but honestly I don't view it as a major problem. Really? Not sure why anyone would dislike you over something like that. And in the first place, nobody could call me normal either, you know? Even I'm aware of that. Yeah, you're weird too, Yuji. That's right, so don't worry about it. You're nice. I get that a lot. To be honest, I'm getting tired of hearing it. Stupid. Thanks. I'm happy you came. I feel a little guilty to hear you say that. Huh? Why? Because I didn't come here on my own initiative. I see. Right. Makes sense. Okay, did they actually just do the deed here and now? Did these two seriously just do the deed? If they did, then I heard that this was the scene that was really awkward. The explicit scene that was very awkward and how it was written. I'm gonna guess maybe this could have been the first H scene in Michiru's Grid, I don't know. Is that... kitty meow. Watching the cat cuddle up against their leg, Michiru slowly continues to speak. I'm really afraid of stuff happening without me even realizing it. Even if I'm not any worse off after, it's not like you can just ignore something like that, right? The idea of me doing stuff I don't even know about is really scary. It feels like I'm gonna stop being myself. That's what scares me most. The less I remember, the more I don't know. My world gets smaller and smaller, narrower and narrower. Maybe at the end I just vanish. Stop being myself. That's scary, you know? It really is. But... as Michiru pets the cat's head and emits a noisy rumbling purr. There's no night without a dawn, right? And her voice as she speaks those words is slightly brighter than before. How's that one go? There's no night without a dawn and no rain that doesn't end? True enough, but even if the sun does get sick of rising, as long as yourself, your world isn't going to get any smaller. Who cares about the rain? Morning and night have nothing to do with it. It's all you. That's so? That's so? That's so? Hmm? Look, you. Hold it. You, you're misunderstanding something here. You really think I'm a weak little girl or something, right? That was all, you know. A total lie. Kapow! Just as I noticed that her eyes have grown slightly red, Michiru begins snorting roughly through her nose and shouting transparent nonsense at me. The girl really needs to learn how to deal with her emotions a little more calmly. No need to force it. I'm not forcing it, so, you know, the stuff we talked about, and the stuff we did just now, forget about all of that. Got it? The stuff we did? By which you mean your unilateral clinging session? Ah! I can't hear you! And I didn't hug anybody. Never happened. In the first place, a guy barging into a girl's room? Talk about unbelievable! Not to repeat myself, but you're the one who... Shut up! Just get out, okay? Hurry up! Hug! I can't wait. In that case, I'll leave Funga! As Michiru stomps off towards the door, the cat follows at a dignified pace, holding his tail straight up in the air. You forgot your broom. How about a radio while you're at it? I hear the delivery service industry is booming. Who are you calling a witch? Black brings out a woman's charm, my butt! You trying to pick a fight with the blonde by choice community? The way I see it, blonde or black is beyond the point. What's beautiful is beautiful. Right, for example. What do you... for example? That cat. The freaking cat?! That is it. You better be long gone by the time I come back to this room, okay? Got it. I'll be out in a minute. Don't hang around here too long. The man stench will be unbearable. I just said I'll leave. And another thing. Yuji. What now? If you tell anybody about today, I'll get you good. Looking back on this little visit, I've resolved exactly nothing. I have achieved formal confirmation of Michiru's problem, but little else. The rough equivalent of shifting a heavy load on your back from the right shoulder to the left. That said, I'm not intending to take further proactive measures at the moment. Michiru is the only one who can truly resolve our problems. Maybe external aid could provide her with a temporary crutch, but that'd only make things even harder on the girl when she finds herself alone again. When you try to save someone, often as not, you succeed only stroking your own ego. Rather than scooping them up in your arms, you should be providing a push from behind, assuming, of course, they even want your help in the first place. Guess I really should get going. I leave the sweet-smelling room behind, having gained little there but a fresh coat of cat hair on my socks. That was interesting. So I says to Yuji, next time you barge into my room like that, I'll twist your tiptoes till you toot! That's pure Michiru! I know, right? I'm not a tsundere for show, you know? When the time comes, I take care of business. What kind of business, exactly? So I'll leave it here for now with Grisaia. Yeah, I'll leave it here for the time being. I might want to live stream something else tonight, so that's why I'm going to leave it at this for now. 1 hour, 6 minutes in, I know it wasn't too much.